Amanda here from Create Your Future. Guys, I've got a video today about how to stop reacting. So we are going to go through that. I think knowledge is power. So when we talk about today about why things show up as the opposite or different when you're actually trying to manifest something, I'm going to explain it why partial manifestations come up as well. And it's going to help you to understand. And when you have this knowledge, it's going to be so much easier not to actually react. Okay. And we're going to talk about comparing ourselves to others as well. Just before I dive into it, for those of you that are new, my name is Amanda. I'm a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, hypnotherapist, EFT practitioner, as well as a certified life coach. Okay. And I've made a course, How to Identify Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. Link is in the description. It's absolutely free. Okay. It's going to help you to build your mental diet, and stop you from pitfalls like, comparing and also, questioning your manifestation is going to block it because you need to shift into the knowing and already have it done in the 4D, right? Your mind before it shows up in the 3D. So questioning why your SP isn't texting you back or, why it hasn't happened yet, it is all going to be blocking you. So that course is going to help you to sort that out. Okay. And I'm not sure if this is for any of you guys, but I do have a course, How to Create the Relationship You Love. It's going to help you create a mantra. And you know what? With a mantra, I manifested so many things in like 5 days, less than 5 days with a mantra. Okay. It's going to help you to create a personalized mantra. I've had clients email in letting us know that they've, got their proposal, got their SP back, got back into communication after ghosting for a long time. So that course is definitely going to help you, as well as there are affirmation tracks, how to get rid of the third party, how to affirmations to manifest money, as well as affirmations to get your ex back. Okay, so they're all on sale right now, and I don't know who needs to know that, but it's there if you would like it. Okay, guys, we also have our Facebook group, which is all success stories. Okay, definitely check it out. Success stories are like a really good way to get you in the wish fulfilled. Posting and sharing your success stories helps others as well, because when you read all that positive stuff, it just creates more positive in your life. Okay, so Facebook group, Create Your Future with Amanda, Law of Attraction Hacks. The link is in the description. Okay, and also, guys, you can comment under my video or anyone's video on this channel, and they send it off to the coach for a video idea to answer in a video. And that's actually where I've got two of my questions today that I'm answering in this video are your guys' questions, your subscriber questions. Okay, so the first one is about how to stop reacting. So the first thing, let's actually go with comparing. Okay, so one thing we want to understand is nothing is good or bad. Everything is empty and meaningless, and it only has the meaning that you give it. Okay. So if you're going to basically be comparing yourself to others and thinking like how you're not there, then, that's not helping you. Okay. But if you compare yourself to others and say, no, I'm amazing, well, that's fine. Right. So it's what you do with the comparison that makes all of the difference. Okay. You can use it as a tool to help yourself grow, and you can use it as a tool to basically put yourself down and hold yourself in the same spot. Okay. So, I would just avoid comparing altogether. I would just look at it and go, look at, wow, that person's successful. They're in my reality. I'm viewing that. I've created that for them. I can create that for me. Okay. Use what you see out there as a catalog rather than a comparison to hurt yourself or to put yourself down. Okay. Years ago, I used to actually look and be like, oh, I'm so much better than them. I don't actually do that anymore, because I don't want to make the world any worse of a place than it already is. I want my reality to be good. So I don't want to compare myself to put myself ahead of anybody. You know what? No, if I see someone successful, I'm like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. And I'm going to have it too. Okay. So, just get out of the habit of comparing yourself with others, because there's no one like you, and you are the only one in your reality. This is your quantum bubble. And if anybody has anything in your quantum bubble, that's because you manifested it for them. So you can manifest it for yourself as well. Okay. So, I feel like comparing can be such a low vibration, in like an emotion. It's just like, no, you're perfect, whole, and complete. Nobody compares to you. Okay. You are like nobody else out there. Okay. So let's start from that. You're perfect, whole, and complete. And if you see, somebody that's out there that's got something that you want, then you say, oh my goodness, I want that too. I'm going to get it. If they can have it, I can have it. Done. It's happening. It's happening now. Okay. So yeah, get your yourself out of the habit, and instead of comparing, use it as a catalog. I think that'd be much more constructive way to do it. Um, there's another, what we're really going to talk about here is reacting, right? So when you make a declaration for something and you say, okay, this is what I want to manifest, okay, what ends up happening is your subconscious mind says, oh, you know what? You've got to deal with this. You've got to deal with this. So everything that is not in line with that is going to show up, okay? That's your subconscious mind's way of saying, hey, you know what? You need to get on your mental diet. You need to address this. This is not in line with what you want, okay? So also often somebody will say, look at, you know what, I actually just read on Reddit, somebody said, I've been making, affirmations and intentions to drastically change my life, and everything is going the opposite. Well, that's because your subconscious mind is highlighting everything that's not in line with that. And this is actually a good thing. If you identify and you look at those and you say, okay, so I intend to be with Jerry. And then all of a sudden, Jerry says, I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm not ready to commit. And then you say, no problem to Jerry in the 3D. And the 4D, you go, no, I intend Jerry's over his baggage and ready for a relationship. Boom. And then all of a sudden, you've got some other obstacle that comes up. Well, then you address it and you change it. You revise it on the spot to what you want instead. And I guarantee if you play that little game of whack-a-mole for a little while, you are actually going to speed things up. And this is where partial manifestations come from, okay? Somebody will say to me all the time, you know what, I was intending and manifesting that my SP would actually show up and propose to me. And then I go to the pub and some drunk guy proposes to me. How come it wasn't my SP? Or I've been intending for my SP to call me, and I've been seeing his name everywhere, but he hasn't shown up. Okay, well, that's highlighting to you that there's a block somewhere, that there's something that needs to change, okay? Because your thoughts are things, and your subconscious mind has to serve you things in accordance to sort of what beliefs and restrictions, you've already put out there, okay? So for instance, let's say that you do have a story that your SP doesn't want to get married again because they've got baggage, and you're intending that they propose to you, okay? So somebody's got to propose to you. Your subconscious mind has to make a proposal happen, because the proposal and your SP are two separate items to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind's like, wait a minute, I can get you the proposal from Joe at the pub. That's done. And then so that's good. Okay, why wasn't it my ST that proposed to me? Okay, well, then you've got to go, well, ask yourself, like, what stories and beliefs are you carrying, and assumptions are you carrying about them? Okay, so when we look at all of this as you just getting yourself out of the way and your mind is actually helping you, that's why things you don't want pop up, things that are the opposite, you're intending for one thing and another thing shows up, or, it's not changing. That's your subconscious mind saying, hey, you need to deal with this. You have a belief here, you have an assumption, you need to change it. And how do you change a belief and an assumption? Repetition. You start installing the new thought, okay? Repetition. That's what your subconscious mind responds to, okay? It responds to repetition and being sure, it's not like, oh, I wish he's over his baggage. It's like, no, he's over his baggage and ready to be in a relationship. Like, put some effort, some, strength into it, right? Put, believe, conviction into it, right? Because, you're manifesting this and you're commanding it. You're commanding it to come into your reality, okay? So you want to be sure about it, strong about it, and not flip-flopping around about it, okay? So that's why a mantra is so incredibly important, right? So what I would do when I see something like the opposite of what I want, I'm like, no, it's actually not what I want. I want this instead. And then I'll add a few other intentions on there. And that's why a mantra works really great, because, if you're constantly faced with, say, like the opposite, every day, he's like, I don't want a relationship, I'm fine with what we're doing. And then you think to yourself, you're like, no, I intend you're over your baggage, ready for a relationship, and you ask me out because I'm good enough. And we're going to get married and we're going to live together. And that's how it's going to be, right? And you keep, doing that in your mind every time you come across any sort of situation, right? So, if we take the time to stop and to not react, going, okay, look at, what, this is showing up, and it's showing up because it's my previous thoughts, and B, it's my subconscious mind saying, hey, you need to change this, right? Now it's like, this is empowering, this is exciting. Okay, it's working. I don't know if any of you been out there and you're intending and nothing's manifesting and you're not sure what's stopping you, right? So, it's a blessing when, these things show up. It highlights what we actually need to change so we can manifest it faster. You're actually helping yourself. because everything that's reflecting in your 3D back to you is what's housed in your subconscious mind. Okay. So your subconscious mind is like, like let's say, okay, like cartoons, how they would, draw each frame, okay, and then play it on the screen. Well, that's everything you wrote on your subconscious mind is playing on the screen of your 3D reality. Okay, so it's a previous thought, it's a belief, it's an assumption, and the only thing that you need to do to change a belief or assumption is to start repeating the new, assumption, the new belief. Okay, so the assumption that they don't want a commitment, no, they do want a commitment. Okay, and if it doesn't happen after you say it once, say it again, say it again, say it again, say it again. You say it long enough, you'll believe it and it'll happen in your reality, right? It's like, have you ever told a lie long enough that you actually believe it? That's exactly what we're doing here, because the only one that needs to be convinced of this is you. Okay, so yeah, that's how partial manifestations show up. They're also sometimes called birds before land, and rightly so. You're getting close. You're obviously doing the work if you're starting to see stuff like that. Okay, your work just needs to be tweaked a bit, right? And that's where sometimes coaching can help, because when you tell someone else the story, they can see maybe a blind spot that you're missing. Okay, so what we do here is we'll ask you, what's your current story? What do you want to manifest? And we'll go, okay, where's the disconnect here, right? And that's really, what we should be looking at is, okay, this is what I want. This is what my reality is showing me. Those are the thoughts that we need to change. We need to change this reflection. And yeah, you know what? It may seem like a little bit of uphill battle at first, right? Especially if you're making a complete change in a lot of areas, right? And then eventually, you know what? It'll get to the point where you're like, no, you know what? My new reality, I believe it. Like, I'm okay with it. You'll feel neutral. You'll feel good. You'll feel like it's done inside, that you've done enough work. And then you won't feel, the need to check. You'll just be like, no, I know it's coming. I know it's done. And so I would also create the little list of manifestations, right? Because when you create this list of daily little manifestations and you check it daily and cross them off and add to it, of things that are not too easy, not too hard, but just odd enough that you'll know that it was a manifestation, you learn how you manifest and you learn how it works. And it also, every time you manifest one of those little things, you're back in the wish fulfilled. Like that feeling you get when you manifest something, like that is the perfect state to be in, to start manifesting and like affirming in another area that you may have resistance to, because in that state you've got zero resistance. You feel like anything is possible when you manifest something, right? So doing that list is also really incredibly important. Okay, so yeah, I hope and I intend that everybody has the knowledge and the power now to, at least prevent reacting as much. It's okay if you react. I'm not saying be perfect, don't react. We're human. You're going to react. Just remember that when you do react, make it mean that it's getting you closer to what you want. Clean up the story, revise it, move on, right? And always intend that everybody in your reality is understanding, forgiving, supportive. Everybody wants you to be successful and to have what you want. Okay. Anyways, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.